What's the word, YouTube fam? Welcome back to the channel. It's your host, Jay Wade, and you are now tuning into Wait a Minute TV. Today, we'll be diving into the third installment of the 28 Days Later franchise entitled 28 Years Later. I'll be giving you all my full breakdown of the movie, along with what I liked and disliked about the movie, as well as what I believe the ending was alluding to. So, without further ado, let's get right into it. The beginning of this film mirrors the first installment. A young boy by the name of Jimmy watches his family get infected in the Highlands, and his father sacrifices himself so that Jimmy can escape in a brief but brutal callback to the first movie. Now, I will say this, that first scene was in effing sane. I don't believe I recall anything from any of the prior movies or any zombie movies for that matter where the zombies actively attacked kids and you saw it on the big screen. That was wild. Along with the fact that this man's father was also a preacher and was attacked by zombies willingly. That was crazy. Moving on though, fast forward 28 years later, Spike and his father, Jamie, who was the kid Jimmy 28 years prior, live in a fortified community on an island. Spike leaves the island for the first time with his father, Jamie, which is considered by the townspeople a rite of passage, and later seeks a doctor for his cancer-stricken mother when they journey to the mainland. They soon encounter mutated infected that have a subtle intelligence to them and have predator-style hunts and climactic battles with alpha creatures. Once Spike returns back to the infected mainlands with his mother, he runs into the quirky Dr. Kelson, who leads them to a literal bone temple. This bone temple was made up of the bones of some of the victims of the infected and non-infected alike. Dr. Kelson reveals that Isla is definitely infected with cancer, which leads her to choosing euthanasia via a morphine dart. She gives Spike her skull, which he places atop of the Bone Spire Memorial. Before all this occurred, though, they witnessed an infected pregnant woman miraculously giving birth to an uninfected baby, which was a quiet, hopeful moment that's quickly upended when a cult-like jerk tries to kill the baby, only to be disposed by an alpha infected hunter. Kelson drags Spike and the infant back to the Bone Temple, but after an alpha attack, Spike escapes solo, leaving the infant under the island's care. 28 days later, after Spike does this, he is still on the mainland and is rescued not by soldiers or doctors, but by a bizarre cult led by a man calling himself Sir Jimmy. Sir Jimmy is wearing the same crucifix that Spike's father gave him before he was killed by zombies in the opening scene. These Seville-esque cultists appear to worship the apocalypse itself, reminiscent of the grindhouse-style shock, chaos, violence, and twisted ritual. So what I believe that this ending was alluding to with the whole bizarre cult thing was the sequel entitled The Bone Temple that's supposed to be released in 2026. Now, to get into what I liked about the movie. It definitely had stunning visuals and a haunting soundscope where there was very good usage of strategic silence and enhanced spatial audio, which for me heightened the dread. The mature and emotional core of Isla's death, along with Spike's passage to adulthood at such a young age. I also think that the evolved infected was a good look, and I feel like it brought a new terror to the franchise, from the slow lurkers to the brutal alphas who led the pack of zombies and didn't take no for an answer. Now, what I disliked about the movie was, one, I found the cult twist at the end very jarring. especially following the emotional bone temple scenes. The tonal shift felt very abrupt. I personally was hoping for like a non-stop zombie action film, but the slower philosophical moments and emotional beats felt underserved. I was also hoping that there would be more of an exploration of the different packs of zombies that were led by the alphas. All in all, 28 years later does definitely deliver on visual artistry and emotional substance, pushing the franchise into new thematic territories, exploring humanity, evolution, and the creation of new societies amid horror. But I'll say, if you're craving relentless action, the pacing and the cult ending twist might leave you wanting more, because it definitely left me wanting more. I'm not going to lie, at the end of the movie, I literally asked myself, what the did I just watch? You all let me know down in the comments what your thoughts were on the movie. Did you like the ending? Did you like the entirety of the movie? What did you think of the Bone Temple scene? Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time, YouTube fam, I'm out.